Test. No, I'm sorry. Okay. Just. Good morning. See, everybody acts like they're just going to ignore me. I'm going to put myself in their conversation. Yeah. How's everybody doing? Good morning.
Good morning.
Y'all ready? Y'all ready for some derby?
Yeah.
You're not feeling derby this morning. Morning derby is hard to get. It really is. It's like, yeah, I got you. We got Crooked River folks in the house. Live from the Wrecking Skis Burger up in the Crow's Nest. What up, Skis? Man the stream. Hopefully everybody out there in the Derbyverse watching. Those of you in house, if you want to check us out online, go to our YouTube page. Look, find Al Be Damned on Facebook, friend him, like him, and then there's a watch video. I would like to
It's all right. turn it up more.
All right, we are 40 seconds away from this game. We've got the Columbia Quad Squad going up against the Crooked River Varsity.
Do you want to call off Columbia?
Huh?
Read down Columbia. Read down their numbers.
Ah, yeah. For Columbia, number 00, we have Turtle, 16, Slam Diesel, 1633, T-Puff, 2, Shortcake O Slam Cakes, Short Stack O Slam Cakes, 21, Ham Slamwich, 246, Peaches and Scream, 32, DJ Weapon, 321, Squirrel, 6, Thug Buggerson, 63, Mad Eye Moody, 650, Slim'em, 77, 7, Kickin' Kenzie, 814, Hitbull, number 9, I Gnarly, and number 999, Bad Juju.
And for Crooked River in the blue, we have 047 AK47 10, the Flying Fish 100 Rain Storm, 171 Flying Squirrel 1000 Tie Dye. 22 Kryptonic K, 27 K Killer, 2674 Starry Skies, 42 Adrenaline Rush, 47 Sophia Scorn, 430 Rosie the Riveter, 5 Sharkbait, 777 Devious, 88 Megan You Fall, and 911 Jolly Crusher. We're about to get started here in the Wrecking Hall. First out to jam, we have for Crooked River 100 Rainstorm and 777 for Columbia Kickin' Kenzie. And I think that this will be a pretty awesome bout. Watching both of these guys play yesterday, it'll be fun to see them play against one another.
I haven't seen them play against each other, so it should be a good game. Both teams seem pretty equally matched. And, of course, as always, we want to thank the refs and NSOs for coming out this morning.
What?
Because we stayed here till I think about 11:30 at night last night skating, so some of us are still waking up a little bit. Fortunately, here at the Wrecking Hall, the hospitality is their middle name. We got plenty of coffee available for sale, muffins. The coffee isn't set up yet, but it will be.
Once it's ready to go, you can get caffeinated.
If only you were in a prime location where you're right next to a place that serves donuts and coffee. Oh, wait, you are.
I'm excited for some sandwiches from the Tantrums. That extreme peanut butter.
DJ Rito having this song come up as we talk about extreme PB&J sandwiches.
And it looks like we're about ready to get this ball or skate rolling. Aye.
Are you doing it, Goats?
Maybe. We might start it off. Let's get ready to skate.
Now, seeing the kids getting excited before the game started makes me wish that dance-offs at the jam line would come back.
Oh, yeah.
Cringe every time I walk over here. I know you do.
I'm sorry. I'm neurotic.
And, of course, if you're listening out there in YouTube world, if you're running a tournament in Florida or within driving distance of Jacksonville, Florida, be sure to give DJ Ito a call. He's only done, I don't know, like every major tournament in Florida.
Pretty much. Wow, that was fun. My voice just cracked. And we're about to start. Woo! And we started. Columbia Quad Squad straight to the back of the pack and pushing Columbia Quad Squad? Yes. Columbia Junior Rollers Quad Squad. And it looks like Crooked River pushing to the front and no pass, no penalty. So she was not awarded lead jam. Lead jammer is still open. But she is on her first scoring pass. Unfortunately, sent to the back by 0-0 with some awesome blocking on the outside.
Some awesome blocking going on by Crooked River. Still, their jammer, Columbia's jammer, is yet to make the initial pass.
And Rainstorm threw for another 5. Hard fought there. And a star pass for Columbia. Sorry.
The hit bull with the cover now. Rainstorm going to the penalty box for a track cut, as well as hit bull. So it's a race to the penalty box.
And this will be a full 2-minute jam, but they're not sitting for long, just because that doesn't happen.
Amazing blocking by both sides on this first jam.
3-2-1 sent off for a high block. I got a little bit crazy there at the end. I couldn't word, I just looked. I was just watching. I'm just gonna word.
What I meant to say was amazing strategies are being used by both teams, and it seems that Crooked River is going to come out ahead, but it was happening so quickly it came out.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, 777 Devious up for Crooked River, and number 2, short stack of Slam Cakes for Columbia. Both of the jammers kind of following one another for a second. Unfortunately, Devious was called on a penalty. I'm not sure what. But Slam Cake's coming around the bend. She has lead jam.
And Slam Cake's going to go into this pack with 2 of her blockers in the penalty box. Crooked River doing a great job blocking the inside line. Quad Squad's jammer back in play.
Great blocking by Ohio's Crooked River. Taking Columbia's jammer to the back.
Adrenaline rush forming the tripod and holding up Crooked River's jammer just off of turn 3.
And the star pass from number 2 to number 9, Columbia.
So Gnarly's got the jammer cover on this one.
Meanwhile, Devious just hopped around the outside and snuck right out. But this is going to be the full 2-minute jam, so nobody can call it off. A couple more penalties called. Both these tripods out there right now are really giving the jammers a hard time. Hard go of it. They're very, very strong, very good at recycling.
Yeah, and we saw a lot of that from both teams yesterday while they were playing. Right now we got Turtle for Columbia going up against number 430 for Crooked River, Rosie the Riveter. And I don't recall if I saw Rosie the Riveter jam yesterday.
I don't remember anything ever.
At least not while I was doing the call.
The great thing about having terrible memory is everything's like a fresh start every day. And 0-0 for Columbia right out the gate for lead jammer. I feel like this will be a close one. The entire game will be a close call.
I'm thinking so too. Since we saw both teams play a couple of games yesterday, I think they're both evenly matched.
Crooked River has some wonderful being played. I don't know if you caught that, but getting the jammer out, just great 3-2 called on a destruction allowing for 430 to come around and grab some more points.
But not before he took out the Crooked River Jammer, holding that up.
And this is, I believe, the second 2-minute jam. Or third.
So call me kooky, but there seems to be a rotating door at the penalty box so far in the beginning of this game.
Well, and I think that happens a lot, especially in junior bouts. They get a little crazy at the beginning, and then they settle in. That's we saw that a lot yesterday. Yeah, you made that point yesterday. Yeah. Things get a little crazy. They just got to figure each other out because you know they're playing with a completely new group. So they just got to settle in, and then after a couple jams, they'll figure it out. And more often than not, getting towards the middle of the game, it gets clean. 0-0 coming through for another 4 points. And the jam is called. And we have, is it Columbia on the left? 2-4? Mm-hmm. Columbia 24? Yep. Columbia 24. Columbia 24 and Crooked River 35.
And right now we have number 27 for Crooked River going up. Kay Killer going up against Kicking Kenzie, number 777.
Both jammers utilizing the entire track to try and get around those blockers, which the lateral movement is pretty intense. 2-7 snuck out through the inside for lead jammer. And 777 for Columbia sneaking out right there. Quick on the follow-up. We'll see if she forces the call off. And it looks like they might run it.
Excellent blocking by number 47, Sophia.
Black 777 jammer sent to the box. I'm not sure. I did not see the actual call. But it will be a power jam for K-Killer.
Number 2 for Columbia going to the penalty box for low block.
And again, 2-7 just utilizing the entire track to work her way around, calling it. I think she gained, I want to say she gained 4 points. Or 5 points.
9 point total for that jam for
Thank you for being able to math.
Huh?
That is something I cannot do. I'm not mathy. 777 frozen in the box. Pretty smart technique by the Crooked River team. Peach, oh, nope, 8-8. Megan, you fall. Apparently I cannot read at all. Out for Crooked River. Pushing straight to the front of the pack. And
a cut track called on the jammer right off the bat, so Kicking Kenzie for Columbia is going to enjoy a power jam at the beginning.
And she did. And
Never
she
mind.
received the back block.
Kenzie going for a back block. This was a test. Had there been an actual lead jammer?
And this will be a 2-minute jam. Yeah, we're about 10 minutes in, so this is kind of one of those feel it out, give it another few minutes, and everything ought to.
Oh, yeah. I think we'll definitely see a lot of far less penalties. Fortunately, none of the penalties have been grievous.
Yes.
So it's good to see that they're practicing good sportsmanship as part of the JRDA charter.
Yes. And they're all out there having fun. That's the most important thing. That's what we're here for.
Exactly.
Golly.
That PB&J Extreme sandwiches.
777, like force of nature. She's just relentless. Push, 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 push. And she is like pushing right down that inside every time. 8-8 got herself out.
Well, with what you've been talking about with the skaters taking the whole track with their lateral movements, not only do they have the footwork to do something like that, which takes a lot of time and practice, a lot of trial and error, they also still have the power to push walls like from turn 1 all the way to turn 3 and keep going the next jam.
Well, yeah, these skaters are, I mean, relentless was the word yesterday, I'll say. Relentless.
Yeah.
Completely. They will push until they literally cannot push anymore. And it's insane. But they're doing it utilizing the entire track.
Yeah.
Which I think that's a testament to their training. Just 3-2 out for Columbia and 4-7 out for Crooked River.
And that's Sophia Scorn. Scorn. Ah, thank you.
Columbia caught up in the Crooked River blockers, but not far behind 4-7, who's got lead. And it looks like she called it just before, yes. Forced into the call-off by Columbia. Some very good teamwork there.
Absolutely. That's something else that I'm noticing, that all the skaters are very much aware of who their walls are. You see a lot of team ups whenever it's just two of them. The communication is also really great. Here in the wrecking hall, like, you can hear clearly who's calling for what, who needs what, where.
Yep.
So it's not only physically are they ready, mentally they've got a lot of tools to work from too.
0-0 getting lead for Columbia, and 2-7 for Crooked River. Looks like she garnered a track cut.
And Turtle going to take full advantage of this power jam, a 30-point difference between the two teams.
Turtle gaining another 5 points there and coming through for another scoring pass. Another 5 points. Taking full advantage of the power jam. Getting some great from 1633. I don't know if you saw him scooping some of those some of the Crooked River blockers out of the way for Turtle.
Yeah, some excellent sweeping by Columbia on that one.
2-7 did just get a back block, so she's back into the penalty box, making this a second power jam for the jam for Turtle. This might be the highest scoring jam of the game thus far.
Absolutely, already at 25 points for the pass. In one jam, that 30-point difference is gone now, and I know Columbia's got to be happy about that.
It only takes one good jam. And that can just level it out. You've got your equalizer, and there it is. Your equalizer at 58-58.
30-point difference at the start of the jam, and now it's completely disappeared, and Columbia will enjoy a power start on this one. A timeout has been called.
Timeout for Crooked River.
Skater being assisted over to the bench.
Could take a moment to talk about some sandwiches whenever people are here to make sandwiches. I want a sandwich.
We know where your mind's at this morning.
I love sandwiches, okay?
Sandwiches are great.
I could probably live off, it looks like I live off of them.
Well, technically everything is a sandwich. It just depends on what you do.
I mean, if you put it between two pieces of bread, it's a sandwich.
If you fold a pizza, technically it's a sandwich, or a taco.
It's a sandwich. It's a taco?
If you fold it, it's folded.
Gosh,
it's a taco.
Tacos sound great too. I gotta stop. Looks like the jam is
Official
Not on
timeout
yet. We're
being
on
called.
to an official timeout. Yeah.
DJ Weapon for Columbia making ready for the power start. But still, 30-point jam to destroy that lead in one jam.
Yeah, I mean, it's anybody's game right up. I always say this. It's anybody's game right up to the last 30 seconds of the game. And Columbia is utilizing the technique of freezing the jammer in the box from the opposite team. So that's a smart technique. Sometimes it works out great. Other times it doesn't. So it'll be fun to see what happens here. 3-2 starting off.
Well, I am noticing that the rotating door at the jammer at the penalty box has started to calm down a little bit, which is great because now that they're evenly matched, if you're in the penalty box, you're just a free point for the other team's jammer.
3-2 gained lead jammer hopping around the outside.
And Crooked River sending their blocker to their jammer to the penalty box. Gets a cut track on the inside just off of turn 1. Columbia now, I don't have it written down, but if my mental brain is working, they've enjoyed a 1.5-minute power jam.
3-2 just gained a cut track, actually. So one of the Crooked River skaters tricked him. He got knocked out, and then they do this a lot. A blocker will run to the back in an effort to kind of trick the opposing jammer, and this time it worked out for him. So
one of my favorite tricks to see is one skater will knock the jammer out, but the blocker will stay where they're at, but another blocker will go back with their hand up, making it seem like they were the ones that knocked them out and bringing the jammer back further.
Yes, that's very true. Crooked River for the start pass, and this will be a full 2-minute jam, so it's anybody's game at this point.
And that looks like Starry Skies has got the cover for Crooked River.
Yes, and she has gotten her team some points, but it looks like 3-2 came out and got some points for Columbia as well.
And then that happened. And that's the jam. 13-point jam by Columbia. 8-point jam by Crooked River. Correction, 16-point jam.
Intense jam. It was a very intense jam. So we have 1-0-0 for Crooked River coming out, and looks like a timeout for Columbia.
So now Columbia is in the lead after that 30-point jam, and now a 16-point jam. They have a pretty good lead over Crooked River. 8-point difference between the two. We have just under 13 minutes left in this half. A great game so far. Still plenty more games to come today. At 11, we have Philly going against the Attack Pack. At 1, we have Cincinnati Roller Girls going up against FOCO. And then at 3, we have Crooked River again going up against the Jacksonville Junior Roller Derby. And to wrap up this roller derby weekend, we have Tampa against FOCO.
We have 1-0-0 out for Crooked River and 3-2-1 out for Columbia. I think this is the first jam for 3-2-1. I have not seen Squirrel out today. Jammer on jammer play right at the beginning. But they both ran off straight into those pack, and Crooked River with the lead jam. Another relentless blocking by 1-0, just not giving an inch. That timeout, I think, was a great moment for Crooked River to kind of get it back together, have a little conversation, calm themselves down.
Absolutely, and sometimes when the team is starting to gain momentum, if you pause the action, that'll kind of make them lose momentum in the mindset.
Yes. Well, you're running off adrenaline, and great call off by 1-0-0 before 3-2-1 was able to get any points, but we have another lead change already. 74 Columbia, 80 Crooked River.
And for Columbia, we have number 6 Bug out there. The first time I've seen him out there. Going up against 777 Devious. And we have an official review call
by Columbia. So this is a great time to talk about some of our vendors. We have Skater's Choice. I think Cinderella Soap Design may be here today. I'm not sure. Jurda Table is here, and Senegence will be here today. It's a lip stain.
So I'm not going to say that the Cinderella Soap Design soap is amazing. I'm just saying I feel and smell amazing this morning.
It's okay. It's okay to say that soap is good. Soap is good, guys.
Soap is good. I enjoy it. You should wash yourselves regularly.
Wash your hands.
Figure out a way to, whether you tap each other or tap between the table or something, to you're not stepping on each other.
Yeah. Okay.
You're stepping on each other.
And TRD merch, we've got tournament, league, and home team apparel. Spring Break Swarm tournament t-shirts are $15, and if you want to give another $5, you can get your name, number, or whomever you are a fan of, you can get their name and or number on your shirt. So as parental units, you are their #1 fans.
And I'm not saying owning a Spring Break Swarm t-shirt with your name on it makes you look cooler. I'm just saying.
I mean, yeah, it makes you look cooler. It's a thing. It's a thing. It's a thing. Quick shout out to our NSOs and referees for this game. NSOs are Christy Cuff, Slippery Vixen, Psylocke, The Fuzz, Blondie Blitz, Fluffy, Missy, Iva Grudge, Edith, and Tootsie. And our refs are Pete in the Pool, Refty Venture, Kilt Trip, Bob Gnarly, Tricky Ricky, Gary, and Traxidermist. And I have a report, and I will be back in a moment.
Again, at the Wrecking Mall, we have all kinds of Tampa Bay Roller Derby merch available, so be sure to check that out. Right now, we're back. Number 6 for Columbia, going up against 777 Devious for Crooked River. Another lead change, 6-point difference between the two in favor of Crooked River. Columbia down 2 blockers, Crooked River down 1, and Crooked River gets your lead jam.
So Crooked River was contesting the lead call for the last jam, therefore calling it an illegal call-off. However, due to a no pass, no penalty rule, but the person that was no pass, no penalty was issued a penalty. Therefore, the call does stand, and therefore they will lose their official review for the first half. So basically, they called an official review. They do not retain it. Yes. And number 6 just hopping around everybody, making it look like a day at the park. Easy peasy.
And that's Bug putting 4 points on the board. First time I've seen them out today. Right now we got 999 Bad Juju for Columbia going up against 42 Adrenaline Rush. 10-point difference between the two teams, and we got 10 minutes 30 seconds left in this half. Crooked River down 2 blockers at the start.
This is shaping up to be quite an exciting game, just like I knew it would be. That's exciting.
Speaking of exciting games, how much fun was it to call Tap in Tampa last night?
Insane. A lot of fun. I'm enjoying calling these games. So Columbia getting lead after a fight Great fight. Those blockers are really putting up a fight out there. Crooked River not far behind. We'll see if they want to run it or nope. Forcing the call off. This is going to be a close game. 8-2, 8-8.
I think it'll be a close game too. I think one of the big things will be if either team gets a power jam and does like a 30-point jam, like I believe it was DJ Weapon who got that 30-point jam. Something like that. If they can make that, then the other team has to catch up. We saw it with Tap in Tampa last night, and the other team just slowly grinded away at it.
1-0-0 out for Columbia, and it looks like 9 is jamming for Columbia. 1-0-0 is for Crooked River. 9 just received a penalty, so she's in the box, and this is a power jam for 1-0-0. But boy, oh boy, those blockers not giving a second. Nope. We're gonna make you fight for it.
Oh wait, we got lead jam for 100.
Yep. 1-0-0 lead jam. Round for her scoring pass of 5 points. Number 9's back out and at it with a vengeance. A lot of great teamwork by Crooked River recycling. You're seeing both teams recycling like crazy. They're just very evenly matched, hence the score being as it is.
Definitely a great way to start off day 2 of Spring Break Swarm 2018.
Yes. 1-6-3-3 out for Columbia. This is T-Puff's first jam of the day. First jam as jammer. Does that make sense?
It totally makes sense.
Words are hard. And then 7-7-7 for Crooked River, Devious. Taking a little bit of space to... Sometimes it's really interesting to see a jammer scoot back pretty far. That way they can kind of assess as they're coming up to the pack, because the blockers that are out for Columbia in this jam are like the trees of their team.
Yeah.
So they're tough, and it looks like it's a power jam for Crooked River. So smart move by Crooked River's Devious to take a step back and just assess before she hit that pack.
When I used to jam, starting from the back a little bit, if you're going against a team that's very strong or very sturdy, the trees as you were saying, I would start right on the line because I knew I was going to be pushing them. But if I knew I could out-juke them, I would start from a little bit behind so I could gain some momentum and really just start doing laterals to get around it. So you can definitely see that the kids are strategizing before the jam starts. I didn't say it.
So close. And coming out for Columbia, we've got Turtle 0-0 and 4-3 for Crooked River.
Official timeout called.
Yep, an official timeout.
And later today at the Sunday halftime show, we have Toe Stop Booty Pop. Yesterday we got to see the Wee Tiny Juniors Expo, which was a lot of fun to watch.
Don't forget to vote for MVPs. If you are seeing somebody who's really sticking out and doing something amazing and you want them to get rewarded, make sure that you vote for them for the MVP.
So just to clarify, ethically, it would be a bad idea if an announcer were to vote themselves MVP, right?
I mean, I tried that last Frankie Panky. It didn't work out. I got told off.
That's because you didn't have enough people voting for you. But I'm saying ethically.
I mean, I voted for myself 12 times, but whatever. I mean, 12 people voted for me. Whatever.
I'm not here to judge. I'm having a hypothetical ethics conversation.
Are we here to judge? We are announcing. Is it judging? Are we judging? No. It's an objective, informational conversation.
Exactly. Hypothetically, if people were to vote for announcers to be the MVPs of the game, because we're working.
I'm just saying, I came up with nachos yesterday, and I became the MVP.
Everyone's an MVP when they have nachos. Or, it makes them like the super MVP.
Yes. SMVP. Super MVP.
Extreme peanut butter and
Extreme
jelly.
peanut butter.
Extreme peanut butter. I haven't even had one yet, but now I'm like eyeballing the stand for it, like wanting to happen. Like, I need to know.
You need to know. You ever had a fluffernutter sandwich? Do you know what a fluffernutter sandwich is?
Oh, yeah.
I got introduced to that this year.
Oh, what have you been doing with your life?
It was living under a rock or something. I don't know.
I guess so.
So, recently tried a, stick with me here, it sounds a little weird, fluffernutter hamburger.
There's nothing about that statement I didn't enjoy.
It sounds so weird. It sounds incredibly weird, but it is delicious.
My personal favorite, and my mother did this for me as a kid, she would make French toast. And then she would do the fluffernutter to it.
Aww.
And that is why I have this sculpted and chiseled physique that I do now.
My mom didn't make that for me, but I also have a great physique. Dang, man.
I have also taken my mother's spirit of adventurous food and applied it to s'mores. Did you know that a Samoa, the hole in the middle, is the exact size of a skewer you could use for a marshmallow, and you don't need chocolate because the Samoa supplies the graham cracker and the chocolate.
Right now. You're ridiculous.
No, I am adventurous.
I mean,
tell me that
ridiculous
doesn't
in a great
sound
way.
great.
It sounds great. It sounds like I'm going to have a heart attack if I go to another bonfire, pretty much.
You know what? As long as you die doing what you love, it's totally worth it.
So we are in the middle of an official timeout, just hanging out, chit-chatting a little bit.
We seem to be having an issue with the scoreboard.
We may or may not be having some technical difficulties. Maybe. Hello, Pete.
Having scoreboard issues. We're restarting the laptop. It's going to be another minute or two.
Okay. So we're just going to be a minute, and we're going to chit-chat a little bit. Meanwhile, the skaters seem to be having some fun. And so do the refs.
And if you're joining us on YouTube, we just bared our souls as far as our delicious foods that we enjoyed as children or just recently discovered. What's something that you would totally get behind? Comment on the YouTube page or just comment on Spring Break Swarm for the event page. I want to know because sharing is caring.
We are hungry, apparently. That's the thing. I've only eaten one breakfast today. That's
Yes, we've had first breakfast. What about second breakfast?
And then 11sies.
And then there's brunch. I didn't know brunch was a thing until this year.
I mean, we're all making new discoveries every year.
I'm learning so much about myself.
We have a couple amazing teams. This is a great time. I know that it's unfortunate that we've got a little bit of a delay of game due to some technical difficulties, but this is a great time for both teams to kind of reset themselves, calm themselves down from anything that might have frustrated them the last 15 minutes or so.
Yeah, change up some strategies. Like we're seeing a lot of outside passes. We're seeing a lot of inside passes. Things like that. So that definitely. I think we have about 10 minutes left in the game. I didn't check before we did the reset, but
the half. I did that yesterday. Remember, I kept saying the game. I think it was I was calling with chaos.
That's right.
Yeah. So looks like we might be back up and running. Close-ish. Close.
Well, the current scoreboard is definitely going to work out in Columbia's favor. I'm just impressed that they were managed to score 85 points in less than a minute. I mean, how do you do that, Columbia?
Yeah. Some amazing quick work by our NSOs to get everything together. One thing that they definitely do is they have to have everything as a paper copy as well, just in case something like this happens. So that way they are working together and making sure that everything is up to snuff so that we get the best reads and we get the correct information out. So just a couple more things for them to update, and very big, warm, wonderful welcome and thank you to all of our volunteers.
Absolutely. Because just Jacksonville alone, coming all the way down here for a trip. I did it for the Junior Derby because it's fun, and after parties with the parents are always a blast because they have the same sense of adventure on food as I do. And you were going to make a point.
It looks like we might be back. We might be.
I'll start. So it looks like we're about ready to start, but as you said, having that little brief cool down period, that works not only for the skaters to kind of get over some things, but it also works for the stands because we know how passionate you can get watching roller derby.
Absolutely, and 430 out around the outside for a quick lead jam, but 00 is not far behind her for Columbia. My goodness, those are some quick moving feet. And a quick call off, and that jam was over within, what, 30 seconds? Just a quick reminder to everybody, please make sure that you're keeping it nice and positive for all of the skaters that are out here. We're all here to have a great time. You're all paying to be here, and we want to have happy, good, friendly, wonderful times. So this is all for fun. At the end of the day, we're all just here to have a good time. 100 out for Crooked River and 6 out for Columbia. The jam is on.
Both teams at full strength at the start of the jam, and Crooked River gets your lead jam.
And it looks like Crooked River really took advantage of that little break to reset themselves and get themselves back into gameplay. Meanwhile, 6 is out and about, and he's making his way around that track. Black 814 out for a high block on the Crooked River jammer.
Crooked River trying to call it off, but a cut track is called. So we're going to go the whole 2 minutes on this jam. And Columbia going to enjoy a power jam at the last power jam. They did bridge the gap between the teams. So let's see what Doug Buggerson has to do with this.
All of these skaters giving one another, like, they're giving each other guff. They're not letting anybody out with an easy pass. So the Crooked River blockers are definitely aware of everything going around them. So, and then there's Columbia playing some happy. Oh, they did that little scoop thing, but unfortunately 6 was knocked out at the first turn. And it looks like Blue 100 may have been called for an illegal re-entry. So she's going back to the box and may be frozen in the box to start off with a power jam for Columbia. And that is the fact.
And Bug bringing Columbia 14 points closer to bridging the gap. 14-point jam for Columbia on that one to Crooked River's 5. And 3-2-1 Squirrel for Columbia is going to have a power start at the beginning. Just over 3 minutes left in the half. Current score is 99 to 119. Timeout called by Crooked River.
This is anybody's game, and all these skaters are working their tails off here. Nobody giving anybody a pass. Everybody's working their butts off, so that's really great to see. They seem to be having a good time doing it.
And to go back to what we were saying at the beginning of the jam, this is an excellent game. We know how exciting it can be, and we know the parents and the fans especially get really excited. But as you said earlier, this is a game. These are kids. They learn from our example, so it's great to see when parents are being supportive, yet just yelling out positivity. And
let's keep it that way.
Let's keep it that way.
Yeah. I like positives. I'm not a very negative person. Quick second for a reset with this timeout. Always a good thing. And that minute is up, and we are going to get the jam going here. Starting off 99 Columbia to 119 Crooked River. 3-2-1 out there for Columbia. And 1-0-0 Rainstorm frozen in the box.
And let's see if Squirrel can get a 20-point jam on this one like the Columbia skater earlier today with the 30-point and bring us to a tie again.
Could do it. 3-2-1 with some quick foot movements and scooping around the inside to grab up lead jammer. Wonderful. Again, utilizing the entire track and really paying attention to what's going on. But again, Crooked River is not going to give her a quick pass, and Crooked River's jammer is ready to roll.
Rain back in the pack. Crooked River, I'm sorry.
And she snuck around
Columbia
the outside, but 3-2-1. Wow, that was an amazing jump.
Absolutely.
I don't know if you caught that. Crazy. And we have just over 2 minutes left in this half, and we are neck and neck, really and truly.
9-point jam for Columbia on that one, within striking distance. And we have Turtle out there for Columbia.
The trees. The trees.
The trees.
The
yes.
trees.
We have the tree wall.
Yes.
And we have Rosie the Riveter out there for Crooked River.
And she is not, without missing a beat, she just scooped right up the inside. And 0-0, I believe, was called on a penalty and will sit, making this a power jam for Crooked River. And she is taking full advantage of that, utilizing as much of the track as she can to scoop around any outside place she can scoop.
And it looks like Crooked River's got number 16 trapped in the back of the pack.
Yes. Columbia's wall in this jam is just not giving up a second right now. They're just relentless. The word of the weekend is relentless.
Relentless.
Very strong. 2-4-6 with that clutch move. Just not. She's holding on as long as humanly possible to the Crooked River jammer.
Absolutely. And Turtle back in the penalty box. So Rosie is going to enjoy another 30-second power jam. And she will call it.
And 0-0 will be frozen in the box.
An official review is called by Crooked River.
Official review, huh? I thought they lost their official review. How many official reviews did they get?
It may have just been the angle that I was seeing, but I thought he was making the O symbol, but it could have just as easily been the timeout. So I can only see so much, George.
Well, you've got glasses, man. You're supposed to be able to see these things. Get it together.
I just feel your judgment raining down on me is what I'm feeling right now. Yeah.
That is my job.
It's not a good place to be. It makes me sad in my heart.
And it does look like it's an official review for Crooked River.
Ha-ha! Vindicated.
Interesting. How many official reviews did they get out of? 2?
I thought they get 3.
Official reviews?
Wait. No, they only get 1, but they get 3 timeouts. No, it was Columbia that used the official review. Crooked River didn't, I don't think.
Oh, I think you're right. Apparently, I am unable to see very well, and I'm just making mistakes left and right.
I want you to think about the emotional turmoil you just put me through.
I'm okay with it. Columbia's Jammer frozen in the box 0-0 up against 7-7-7 for Crooked River. And again, she kind of came at it from a distance so that she could assess, and it's just a timeout. Okay, thank you. And that was just a timeout. I was wrong. It was not an official review.
It's okay. It's early in the morning. We're allowed to make mistakes. That's how we learn.
Wow, some crazy footwork by 0-0. That stopping power was incredible. I don't know if you saw that. Gained another 4 points for Columbia, so in an effort to equalize. Zero pushing right up the middle. Meanwhile, 7-7-7 also pushing right up the middle up against those Columbia blockers. One zero zero or 1-0. It's 1-0 tracking 0-0 back as far as possible. This is going to be a close one. 7-7-7 swooped around the outside. Meanwhile, 0-0 for Columbia is pushing against those relentless Crooked River blockers, but he got through. We're seeing some very strong skaters.
Absolutely. Devious taken out just off turn 2, being brought back. And I think that, yes, that is DJ Weapon, I believe. Bringing her all the way back to turn 1. That's the half. 24-point jam by Columbia to Crooked River's 15. 15-point difference in the scores. What a game. And
yeah.
I'm excited to see how the second half goes.
It's anybody's game. 132 to 147. Anybody's game. That's insanity. It's really fun to watch a bunch of strong skaters really duke it out. I think that's probably my favorite part about being able to watch and talk a little bit about these games is seeing them just so strong and really giving it all they've got and leaving it all out on the tracks.
Absolutely, and the other thing that, as I said earlier at the beginning, there was a bit of a rotating door at the penalty box, but there was no malice in any of it from what I saw here on the booth.
Yeah. It's it's a physical game, and especially when you're coming up against a team that you might not have played before, or if you haven't played them in a long time, it's a different team every couple of months, you know what I mean? So you have to figure one another out, and so the first 10 to 15 minutes can be a little crazy in the box, and then
absolutely,
and then it's calm and everything's happy.
So I'm going to use my ESPN and predict what's going to happen in the second half. I still think we're going to see a fair bit of penalties, and not because of anything malicious, but just because I think both teams are super physical.
Yes. Well, they're utilizing the entire track, and when you utilize the entire track like that, utilize is the word of the day as well. When you're using the entire track like that, you're everywhere. You have to be everywhere all at once, and so mistakes are going to get made, and there will be penalties, but it is part of the game.
Doug, sign off and take a break.
All right. Well, I'm going to take a break for this halftime. I'm George.
And I'm Tool Time.
And we'll see you back in a minute.
All right, 10 seconds until we're back for the thrilling conclusion of this game. Crooked River at 147 to Columbia's 132. Right now we have Rainstorm jamming for Crooked River. Thank you for joining us here at the Wrecking Hall. I'm Tool Time, and joining me is
George.
And we still got plenty of derby today. Next up, we have Philly Roller Derby going up against the Attack Pack. And then after that, we have Cincinnati versus FOCO. At 3, we have Crooked River versus the Jacksonville Junior Roller Derby. And then at 5, to close out the day, we have Tampa Junior Roller Derby going up against FOCO again.
And just want to reiterate something that we've been pushing a lot this morning. Keep it positive out there.
On and off the track.
On and off the track, just keep it positive. 1-0-0 up for Crooked River and 7-7-7 up for Columbia Junior Rollers. Let's see what's going to happen this second half. I have a feeling it's going to be pretty exciting.
And Crooked River is down one blocker at the moment, but that's not stopping them from forming a strong three-person wall just off the pivot line. Number 9 bringing back 100 for Crooked River. Powers through and gets your lead jam, Crooked River, courtesy of Rainstorm.
7-7-7 for Columbia, having a little bit of a boot issue, but I think she got it figured out, and she is pushing right up the middle.
We did see some equipment issues in the middle of the first half. I noticed a couple of toe stops rolling around. And if there's anything more essential as the wheels on a skate, it is definitely the toe stops with as much pushing as they're doing this weekend.
Yes. And Columbia with the star pass to number 9, Gnarly. 1-0-0 has been very successful this game. Rainstorm, very, very successful jammer. I think she's been out the majority. I think she's been out the most for Crooked.
She does seem to be out, if not every other jam, every 3 to 4 jams she has been out there. And she's been putting a lot of points on the board for Crooked River.
3-2-1 Squirrel pushing 9 just to give her a little more oomph out the gate there. It was pretty fun.
And that's an 18-point jam for Crooked River to Columbia's 4. 7-7-7 Devious for Crooked River going up against 9-9-9 Bad Juju. Crooked River starting this jam off with 1 blocker in the penalty box.
If I remember correctly from yesterday, Bad Juju's got the jukes. Both these walls are very, very strong. Very strong. And Crooked River did just drop a blocker due to a penalty. And Bad Juju snuck through and grabbed lead. She's on her first scoring pass and called it after gaining 4. Inching close. Inches. They're inching closer.
Inches. You know what they're using right now? Strategery.
All right, we have 6 for Columbia. Thug Buggerson out, and 4-3-0 Rosie the Riveter. We've seen her a lot today as well, also a very successful jammer.
Absolutely. She's also been a very effective blocker for Crooked River out there today as well.
I believe the term is blammer, if you're able to do both very well. It's becoming more and more important to be able to cross-train in Derby, to be able to do both, because you never know when you might be needed in a different aspect.
Absolutely, and especially if you're traveling as far as Crooked River has in like Boco, places like that. If you have a larger roster of people who are good at jamming as opposed to your usual core jammers, you definitely want to save your core jammers when you're going up against another team later on. Like as far as the skill set, you may be able to get away with some of your B team jammers, but that's definitely a smart strategy to keep your A team running fresh.
And Rosie the Riveter did receive a cut track, so she is going to the box, giving 6 Columbia's Thug Buggerson a chance to earn some points as a power jam, and this will be a full 2-minute jam. First of the half, I think. First of the half, I think.
Cleanup off of turn 3. Columbia sending a blocker to the penalty box.
Rosie the Riveter not taking it. She's getting hit from several different directions, but she is not one to relinquish her position very easily. Which is,
we can do it, is what she's saying.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I get it.
You see what I
Rosie
did
the
there?
Riveter.
All right, we have adrenaline rush out there for Crooked River going up against Turtle. And a correction on what I said in the first half, Turtle is the one that did the 30-point jam that brought Columbia back to a tie with Crooked River in the first half.
Turtle out for a lead jam. Meanwhile, 4-2 getting brought to the back, but she is hitting up those edges, and that was some fancy footwork, spun right out of the pack. Turtle not stopping for anything. Calling it at the last second. But Turtle did relinquish 1 point. 1 point.
And we're seeing the strategy that we saw Jacksonville use a lot yesterday. Let me call if I can remember the name. I think it was against Cincinnati. Yes, it was the 7 o'clock game yesterday. They were going in, getting their points, holding off until the other jammer was about to get in the pack, and then calling it, so they can not only kill the clock, but they can also kill any point spread to get more on the board. And that's an effective strategy that Columbia is using now. They're within striking distance of Crooked River, and now we've got a lead jam by DJ Weapon.
3-2 for Columbia, and who do we have for 7? Sophia Scorn. Forcing the call off, and Columbia inching forward.
And it looks like we have an official review being called by Crooked River.
Current score is 151 to 166 in favor of Crooked River.
And we have number 9 taking the jammer line for Columbia.
2674 for Crooked River. That is Starry Skies.
Against I Gnarly.
Just to take a moment to talk about some fundraising opportunities that we have going on here. Tampa Junior Roller Derby has a bake sale, so if you're into sweet stuff, go ahead and hit them up. If you want a sandwich or something not so sweet, you can go over to the Tantrums table over there. They're selling some monsterly good sandwiches. It's the weirdest way I could have said that.
No, I support it. I get good behind that.
If you're looking for some, how do you call it when it's done just for you?
Custom.
some custom apparel. The Sirens do have some hats and some shoes on sale. They don't have many more hats though, so if you want an official custom Spring Break Swarm hat, you're going to want to head over to see Bam. She's painting some wonderful hats right now, and there are some shoes up for grabs.
And at the end of this game, I'm going to take full advantage of the Sirens custom painting that they're doing for clothes. I am going to get my handbag customized. It is a merce. I accept this about myself. It is also incredibly functional.
Hey, you do you.
I am.
I have a satchel that I carry everywhere. It's the biggest merce I could possibly have.
Oh, so you're allowed to call it a satchel, but I'm not allowed to
I called it a merce. I said it was the biggest merce I have. Don't be sassy.
Yeah, but you started off calling it a satchel. I can't have a handbag. Don't put your roles on to me. You don't know my life.
All right, my bad. I'm wrong. You right.
But if you are looking for other merchandise, the Wrecking Mall is open now. We've got plenty of Spring Break Swarm t-shirts available, so be sure to get yours. For another $5, you can get your name added onto it. There's also plenty of Tampa Roller Derby merch available. And if you're skating and after skating yesterday, if you need some different equipment for this floor, we do have a skater's table over there with plenty of merchandise available. And we are ready to go with this jam, Starry Skies versus iNarly. Current score is 151 to 166. Columbia within striking distance of Crooked River. And what was the review?
Our official review was Crooked River was requesting that a back block be assessed to the Columbia jammer, as unfortunately they will not retain their official review. The call does stand as is, and we are moving on.
Starry Skies with your lead jam for Crooked River. And Columbia finding a hole on the inside, passing through, putting 4 on the board. She calls it. Four points each jammer. So the point spread remains the same. Right now we've got Kryptonic K, and that's the first time I've seen her take the jam line, going up against DJ Weapon for Columbia.
And sandwich press is on if you want a sandwich. I'm just saying. And Crooked River's jammer is out around the outside real fast to gain lead jammer, but DJ is not far behind. Three, two, one, utilizing that recycling technique to take Crooked River's jammer back as far as humanly possible. Using some great footwork by 3-2 for Columbia to hop around everybody. And the jam called. 2 points, 2 more points gained for Crooked River by Kryptonic K.
Kryptonic K.
Yes. And we are at 159 to 176 in favor of Crooked River. We could still have a lead change here. We only have about 20 minutes left in the game. Official review by Columbia.
I'm trying to recall a tournament that I worked where both teams were calling official reviews, and typically official reviews, like usually the call stands, but 3 official reviews were given by each team, and each team won.
They must have lawyers for coaches.
I imagine so, because seeing one official review one is impressive because you don't see it that often. Seeing 2 is, oh, okay, so they must be really good at arguing. Number 3 is like, okay, someone's like greasing palms. I know it. I'm calling it.
It's, I mean, yeah. I don't know. As a coach, I called official reviews very few and far between. I did not want to call them because at the end of the day, you have to pick your battles, and it has to be very well worth it. And more often than not, we would use that official review as a timeout, just like it was done at the end of the last half. That official review was used as a timeout.
Ah.
Yeah.
You know what you call that? Strategery.
1-0-0 up for Crooked River, and she shoots through the inside for a lead jam up against 7-7-7 for Columbia, and she is not far behind. Very fast, very strong skater.
So she's getting her points and calling it. 3 points on the board for Crooked River. And we have Devious taking the line for Crooked River. Going against DJ Weapon for Columbia. Quick jammer high five. Always good to see good sportsmanship out on the track and off the track.
Yes. And we're starting 3-2, taking the back to kind of assess, and powered through the outside. Columbia giving 7-7-7 a real hard time there.
First scoring pass done. 5 on the board for Columbia.
Beautiful pass by 7-7-7 to her pivot. And 3-2 is on the heels of that jammer.
And DJ Weapon coming in hot at the NSO booth and sliding under said booth. He's up and he's okay. The NSOs at the scoreboard definitely had their wake-up call this morning now.
All right, and we are 168 to 179 in favor of Crooked River. The game is getting close. Rosie Riveter is out there for Crooked River, and 7-7-7 for Columbia. 7-7-7 grabbing lead around the outside. Fancy footwork by 7-7-7, spinning around the inside. Meanwhile, Rosie Riveter getting caught by that clutch blocker, 1-6, coming in at the last second. The trees, the tall, they're tall and strong blockers.
Gets taken out just off of the jammer line by Starry Skies. Calls it before doing it. 10-point jam by Columbia. 1 point difference between the two teams.
We have 178 to 179 is a 1 point lead.
DJ Weapon taking the line again for Columbia. Official review or official timeout called. Exactly 16 minutes left in this half. 1 point difference between the two teams, and we are close to having another tie.
This is again happening at a good moment for both of these teams to kind of take a moment and just settle up, be calm, and come at it from a good angle.
Just like do some yoga, find your center, you know.
Align your chakras.
This is why I think that there should be a policy of at the bench there should be a dog and or cat. So it's just like, hey, I know you're stressed out. Look at this puppy.
Therapy animals on the bench. I'm
exactly.
down.
Comfort animals.
I would love a therapy animal up here. It would be fun. And 3-2, hopping around the outside, just using his feet. But 4-7 is not giving up at all. She is pushing her way through. Forcing the call off. So a 0-point jam.
That's impressive. And right now we have Bad Juju going up against Rainstorm. Crooked River still with a 1-point lead. Just over 15 minutes left in this game. Both teams at full strength on blockers.
One 0-0, utilizing those edges and making her way out of the pack for lead jammer. 9-9 being held by those blockers, but getting some great by the team Columbia.
Crooked River's jam ref trying to call a penalty on one of the other skaters, and that's 63 going to the penalty box.
That is impressive to be able to see that much. 1-0-0 getting another 5.
Crooked River sending a blocker to the penalty box. Excellent spin move off of turn 2. 3-2-1 for Columbia, going to the penalty box for a forearm. And wow, the penalties keep on coming for both sides. Columbia with a full penalty box on blockers. Juju not letting it slow her down, putting 4 more points on the board.
I think it got a little hairy. Everybody's getting close to one another and they're freaking out. It happens.
Oh yeah, it's a thing. Rainstorm right now with an 18-point jam.
The Columbia blockers using the entire track to try and slow down the Crooked River jammer. And a star pass to 3-2-1. She got out of the pack, and then it was called.
That was definitely an intense jam. Both teams sending blockers to the penalty box equally, almost.
Yeah.
But that was a 23-point jam for Rainstorm, bringing up Crooked River to 202. Columbia still not out of it yet, getting 8 on the board, 186. And, oh, what did we just see, George?
We saw some jammer-on-jammer action. We've been seeing this a fair amount this weekend. In an attempt to slow down the clock, what you'll see is one jammer will knock the other jammer out and take them all the way back to just run the clock a little bit. And 777 not only used it to slow down the clock, but also to assess the situation in front of them and took off right down the inside, getting lead jammer.
Columbia doing some work against Crooked River's jammer, taking her back to turn 2. And oh my goodness, I think, yes, Columbia's jammer is in the penalty box. Crooked River has a power jam.
First power jam of the half, I think.
I think so. You may be right.
Pivot for Columbia did just receive a penalty. I think out of play or directional. I'm not 100% sure.
I believe you're right.
Quick star pass for Crooked. Calling devious up to the line.
And Columbia putting 4 more on the board.
And again, because they're getting close to one another, things are getting a little bit frantic, so we're getting a little more penalty heavy. I can't think of the word frantic without that. Chicken, the Chinese chicken. What is that song? It's Bare Naked Ladies. It's Bare Naked Ladies. What's the name of the song? It's 1 week. That's it. 3-2 DJ for Columbia and 4-7 Sophia Scorn out for Crooked. And
Official timeout called by Refty Venture. This will actually work in both teams' favor because, as you said, it is starting to get a little frantic out there for both sides. So taking a minute to cool down, calm your jets. So that way you can get back to smart derby.
We're at the last 10 minutes of the game. Now is the time to settle and just go with it. (3-2) pushing right up the center. Meanwhile, 4-7 using the entire track to juke, and she is out, but not lead. But Columbia's jammer called it before tripping over anybody, which was great.
Putting 4 points on the board. 4-point difference in the game now. 9.5 minutes left. And that looks like Rainstorm out there taking the line for Crooked River, going up against 999, Bad Juju. Crooked River is down 1 blocker.
Both jammers pushing as hard as they can right up the middle of those blocker pods.
And 3-2-1 going to the penalty box for Columbia for a low block. And Columbia sending another blocker to the penalty box.
1-0-0 for Crooked River has been extremely successful. I
really wish I had my partner in crime stand by here right now, because he would be taking down stats and writing stuff down. Like, he would have like an entire spreadsheet of information for us, so we could get how many penalties skaters have got, like who's got the numbers 1 scored, lead jam statuses, all of that good stuff.
And currently, neither of these blocker pods are wanting to give either of the jammers a break at all. So they're just pushing, holding them as tight as they possibly can. Crooked River trying to expand that gap as much as possible.
And you know what they're being?
Strategizing.
Relentless.
Oh, relentless.
But I made you say it.
3-2-1 got the star in a very nice little handoff there. She is definitely a skater that you can see bouncing from one side of the track to the complete other without stopping. Helpful hand from one of her teammates to help her up there on a hard hit.
And that's a 10-point jam, 13-point jam for Crooked River. Columbia putting 4 on the board, 13-point difference between the teams. 7 minutes left in the game. We got Devious for Crooked River going up against and we have an injured skater on Columbia's side.
And our medics are doing their due diligence and taking care of our skaters. Very, very grateful to have them here.
Absolutely.
This is a very physical, very, very physical game, and it's we always run the risk of injury here.
Absolutely. With any full contact sport, you have that risk. But considering how fast these juniors are going and just the footwork that you see them do, it's an incredibly volatile situation sometimes.
Yes.
But that's why I'm glad the JRDA is so adamant. Like, if it looks like someone's injured, just call it.
Yes,
absolutely. Don't check, just call it. Better safe than sorry. Just because no one wants to have a child injured on the track, and no one wants the win bad. Words are hard.
Yeah.
No one is willing to put a child's health at risk in order to get a strategic advantage.
Right, and it's all here. We're all here for fun and a good time. So, quick shout out to all of our volunteers. We have a wonderful tapeworm taping down the track to make sure that stays put. Also, another safety thing. So.
You call them tapeworms?
Yeah, we call them tapeworms.
Aww.
It's a pretty good. You can use it, I guess. I didn't come up with it.
So that phrase is open domain?
I believe so.
Okay, cool.
Patent pending. No patent pending. So.
Well, as we said, we've got about 7 minutes left in this game. Coming up next, we've got Philly versus the Attack Pack, and the skater is up. Again, Philly versus Attack Pack, but we've got the sandwich station open over by the main entrance. And we've got our merch people here set up, so be sure to check that out at halftime. I know I'm going to be checking out what is so extreme about the PB.
Do it. Don't add avocado. It's a bad idea. Devious up for Crooked River, 777, and DJ Weapon for Columbia, number 32. Both the jammers right before the whistle, just kind of sneaking up to the pack, and 777 did get out and gained lead jammer. 3-2 not far behind. The quick call off to earn 3 points. Inch by inch, Crooked River is trying to open that gap up, and inch by inch, Columbia is trying to close that gap. So
I'm not counting them out yet. They've come back from significant gaps twice in this game so far. And we have Adrenaline Rush taking the line for Crooked River, and number 63 for Columbia, Mad Eye Moody. And this is the first time we've seen her this game on the jam line.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't count anybody out at this point. It's definitely anybody's game.
All it takes is one good power jam.
Just one good jam in general, and this could be it. 6-3 with the lead. She is at 100%. She's at 100%. Quick call off, and that is a 0-all jam. Better to earn nothing and lose nothing.
Absolutely. At this point, with just 5 minutes left on the clock, killing time is just as important as getting points.
Very true. 3-2 DJ Weapon out again, having some friendly banter with 1-0-0 Rainstorm. Kind of bouncing off of one another, but DJ Weapon got lead, and Rainstorm is very, very close on the heels. And 3-2 did get a cut track, therefore this will be a 2-minute jam. We do have injury on the
Timeout
track.
called, medic being called. And it looks like number 10 for Crooked River, the Flying Fish.
Just taking a moment. Better safe than sorry, and just make sure that everything's okay.
Absolutely, and it's going to be the last 4 minutes of this game that both teams are going to have to be especially careful because the wariness has started to set in. The intensity is definitely palpable from here at the announcer booth, but both teams...
Palpable. That's a GRE word, man. Some SAT.
I'm smarter than I look sometimes. I read books, sometimes with no pictures in them.
That's a good word, palpable. That's a terrible word for the mic, though.
Palpable?
Palpable.
It's working out pretty well for my mic.
I'm probably going to get told off for saying it so much. Totally worth it.
It's all right.
Anybody's game here in the last 4.5 minutes.
But yes, Crooked River is definitely going to have to be careful because they still have a game against Jacksonville at 3 o'clock today. This will be the last game for Columbia for the day.
Coming up next, we've got the Attack Pack and the Philly Roller Derby Juniors. Another interesting game.
Agreed. All the games are going to be interesting.
Friendly, fun drop-offs here, because good people are good.
Indeed. I enjoy food. But yes, we do have other games today. All of them are going to be interesting, but the one that... Oh, and she's up. The game that I'm wishing I could be here for, but unfortunately work is a thing, and I have to leave after game 11. Tampa versus FOCO.
Oh, that will be a fun game.
That will be a blast to see because we saw Jacksonville play FOCO, and they held them to a 40-point difference for most of the game, if I remember correctly. So it's going to be interesting to see what Tampa does because as far as Team Florida goes, they're all pretty well matched to each other.
And 3-2 is frozen in the box for Columbia. And we have 2-2 Kryptonic K out for Crooked River.
All right, and we get the sign we're back. Current score 207 to 222. Crooked River with the lead. Not much time left in this game, and we're off.
2-2 right into that Columbia blocker pod. They're just a very, very strong pod.
Crooked River in a bad spot. They only have one blocker out there for the whole team, and number 814 gets the track cut called on Crooked River. That makes this a power jam, is releasing DJ Weapon from the penalty box.
And it will be a 2-minute jam, I believe.
Absolutely, and this is something that could work out great for Columbia's favor.
3-2 coming in hot, but still getting caught by those Crooked River blockers. Lead jam for Columbia. That stopping power is incredible.
That I didn't see it, but that sounded like a hockey stop, and that's one stop I could never quite master. But those who do use it to great effect, just like we're seeing with DJ Weapon right now, putting 4 on the board for Columbia. Almost getting the track cut, but it saves it at the last second.
3-2 being very aware of his feet, but now the Crooked River is running him as far back as possible to run that clock down, and they're doing a very good job, very good strategy, as you like to call it. And a star pass to 4-7 for Crooked River.
Very exciting jam. 9 points on the board for Columbia. 2 minutes left in the game. Just over 2 minutes left in the game. Official timeout being called by Kill Trip. Wow, 11-point difference, 2 minutes left. This is what Derby is made of.
Yes. This is the clutch, man. This is the clutch. It could go either way.
It could. We've seen it happen before. And I see Turtle out there with the jammer cover on for Columbia. I haven't seen him out jamming for a couple of minutes. Going up against Rainstorm. And Columbia with a full penalty box. Two blockers in the penalty box, 1 standing.
So they have 1 blocker on the track, but I think
Gnarly's got it.
I have seen a single blocker hold for 30 seconds, just hold.
Absolutely.
And it's insane.
It is. And we have to remain indifferent during the game, but it's really hard sometimes when you're just like wanting to cheer them on. It's like, oh my God, that was insane.
I just want everybody it's just exciting. It's just
It
exciting
is.
to watch. Exciting stuff. So 0-0 Turtle, 1-0-0 Rainstorm. Let's see what happens.
Rainstorm powers through, but gets a cut track. Columbia has a power jam courtesy of Turtle, and Turtle's got the lead, so he can call it off anytime he chooses.
What a nail biter. And Columbia squeaking through on the outside. Playing some O, and watching that edge work, 0-0, just hopping around the outside here. And we are 1 point difference with 1 minute and 20 seconds to go. 0-0 seeding the cut so he doesn't get a track cut. Very smart move, very, very smart. And there we go. 2-3-0.
What a jam.
This is a nail biter. It is 2-3-0 to 2-3-1, 1 point difference. It's like a brand new game and 1 left. 1 more jam.
We have a timeout called by Columbia, but 14-point jam within 1 point difference, starting off with just 1 blocker against a full block roster from Crooked River.
This is what it is, man.
Wow.
This is what it boils down to.
This
is roller derby.
This is what we've been saying all weekend. It is not over until that last whistle is blown, and there is just no quit in either team. Right now, we got DJ Weapon for Columbia going up against Devious in what could possibly be the last jam of the game. With still 55 seconds left.
DJ Weapon getting a little pep talk from Turtle there. It was nice little moment. And regardless of the outcome, the most important thing is that we're all having a great time. This is the future of Derby. This is what we're here for, this sort of thing. There's a lot of whistling.
Official timeout called. But yes, George, you make an excellent point. No matter what happens, be sure to be respectful to these junior athletes. Come up and slap hands with the skaters no matter who wins. Let's keep sportsmanship in the game and one of the foundations of JRDA.
Yes. This is it, man.
So just looking, it looks like Columbia's got 2 blockers in the penalty box, so they're going to be short on the deck for this one.
Got a little shuffling happening on the track. Making sure everybody's nice and calm, collected.
Take a nice deep breath.
Breathe awkwardly into the microphone. Oh, stop it.
Like you smell different when you're awake.
Oh my goodness. The anticipation.
I hope it lasts. All right, we are ready for roller derby.
Devious.
DJ Weapon against Devious. Wait, another timeout called.
Another timeout called. It's all strategy. It's a way to make sure that everybody's nice and calm. It's just starting off like you're fresh, brand new. Everything's new. Some last minute words.
I don't know. I didn't know if you had a walkie to contact someone.
He's talking to somebody over there.
Oh, okay. I'm going to have to watch some Bob Ross after this game just to calm down. This has been an intense game.
I've got the Attack Pack and Philly Roller Derby Juniors the next game, so that'll be another intense game to call.
If only there was an extreme sandwich that could battle the extreme hunger and tension that we have going right now.
I'm going to need therapy after all of this.
All right, we're ready to go.
The Jammers close up on the line.
Philly giving some love to Crooked River, getting a chant going for Devious off the track.
Oh my goodness. And Crooked River for lead jam. She has control at this point, and Crooked River's blockers are not letting go of DJ. They are not letting DJ pass at all. Crooked River for a second pass. 5 more points on the board. Jam is called.
Calls the jam.
And we're not in an official final because there is still a chance for Crooked River to call an
excellent point to make. But we are out of timeouts except for Crooked River with 1. And I think, yep, they are letting the clock run down.
And that's it. By 6 points. Columbia 230 to Crooked River 236. What a wonderful game. Amazing sportsmanship. Wonderful, amazing, just amazing playing. Just incredible.
Yeah, that was definitely a great way to start off the morning. I'm glad I could be here at the Wrecking Hall to call it, especially with you, George.
It's been a pleasure to work with you, sir.
Absolutely. So we're taking the victory lap. Crooked River, hard-fought battle on both sides. Definitely be sure to stick around because we've got Philly against the Attack Pack. George will be joining you for that one. I'm stepping off for a minute. I'm Tool Time, and joining me is
George Washington. It's been a pleasure. See you guys in a little bit.